The Whispering Forest. In a remote corner of a dense, ancient forest, there stood a decaying cabin. It was rumored to be cursed, and locals avoided it at all costs. But one curious adventurer named Sarah decided to spend a night inside, armed with only a lantern and a journal. As night fell and the forest came alive with eerie sounds, Sarah heard faint whispers from the shadows. The voices seemed to come from the very trees themselves, each whisper growing louder and more malevolent. They spoke of forgotten secrets, lost souls, and unspeakable horrors. Sarah tried to flee, but the forest had other plans. The trees contorted and blocked her path, imprisoning her within their sinister embrace. The whispers grew more aggressive, driving her to the brink of madness. She scribbled frantically in her journal, trying to capture the voices' cryptic messages. Hours passed, and Sarah's journal was filled with incomprehensible ramblings. Exhausted and terror-stricken, she fell into a fitful sleep. When she awoke, the whispers had ceased, and the forest allowed her to leave. Returning to civilization, she shared her harrowing experience and showed her journal to a local historian. They deciphered the writings, revealing a dark history of the forest, a place where rituals of unspeakable evil had once occurred. The voices, it seemed, were the tormented souls of those who had perished there. Sarah's story serves as a chilling reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed, and that there are places in this world where darkness truly resides. Please note that this story is a work of fiction created for entertainment purposes. The Forgotten Carnival. The night was dark and silent as Jenna stumbled upon an old, forgotten carnival in the midst of a desolate field. It had been rumored to exist for decades, but had disappeared from the maps long ago. Her curiosity got the best of her as she approached the rusted gates, which screeched open as if beckoning her inside. The carnival was unlike anything she had ever seen. Dilapidated rides stood tall, their paint peeling, and their machinery rusted. Forgotten cotton candy stalls and ticket booths sat in disarray, covered in cobwebs. The eerie glow of flickering lights revealed grotesque masks and abandoned carnival games. As Jenna cautiously explored the desolate grounds, she heard distant laughter and the faint strains of carnival music. She followed the eeriest sounds, her heart pounding with fear. Turning a corner, she found herself in front of a fun house, its entrance gaping open like a hungry maw. Inside, the mirrors distorted her reflection, making her appear grotesque and monstrous. She stumbled through the twisting corridors, losing herself in a maze of horrors. At every turn, she encountered nightmarish visions of her deepest fears. Hours seemed to pass, and Jenna grew frantic, desperate to escape the funhouse's clutches. Finally, she burst through a door and found herself back in the desolate field. The carnival had disappeared, leaving no trace behind. Jenna couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed within her. She was haunted by the horrors she had witnessed in the funhouse, and her own reflection in the mirror seemed distorted even in the daylight. She had escaped the forgotten carnival, but it had left an indelible mark on her soul. Little did Jenna know that the carnival would reappear for another lost soul in a decade, and she would be forever tied to its cursed existence. The mirror's reflection. Alexandra had always been drawn to the antique mirror she'd inherited from her grandmother. The ornate frame, gilded with intricate patterns, held a large oval mirror that seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly light. It was said to be centuries old and had been passed down through generations of her family. One evening, as Alexandra gazed into the mirror, she noticed something peculiar. Her reflection began to move on its own, smiling eerily at her while she remained perfectly still. It was as if the mirror held a life of its own, a presence that transcended the boundaries of glass and silver. Terrified, Alexandra tried to look away, but her reflection held her gaze. It whispered in a soft, chilling voice, "I've been waiting for you." The room grew colder, and the mirror seemed to pulse with an ominous energy. Desperate to escape, Alexandra turned and ran out of the room, slamming the door behind her. She tried to convince herself that it was a trick of her imagination or a bizarre hallucination, but the unease lingered. Over the next few days, the mirror's presence haunted her every thought. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and could hardly concentrate on anything else. She returned to the mirror, her heart pounding in her chest. The reflection within the mirror remained calm and sinister. It revealed a glimpse of a tragic event from Alexandra's future, a glimpse of her own death. She saw herself in a dark room, lifeless, with the mirror's reflection standing over her. Determined to break the curse, Alexandra researched the mirror's history. She discovered that it had a dark past, rumored to be linked to a powerful witch who had used it for nefarious purposes. The only way to break the curse was to confront the witch's spirit and uncover the mirror's true purpose. With a trembling heart, Alexandra delved into the mirror once more, finding herself in a shadowy realm. There she encountered the vengeful spirit of the witch, who had been trapped within the mirror for centuries. In a harrowing battle of wits and willpower, Alexandra managed to free the spirit and destroy the mirror, shattering it into countless shards. The room fell silent, and the ominous presence lifted. Alexandra had broken the curse, but the memory of her reflection's chilling smile haunted her for the rest of her days.